Okay, good morning, Professor. First off, I just want to say thank you for allowing me the opportunity to present what I think will be a very effective solution for you and your organization. My name is Meena. Our company is Healing Minds Consulting. And over the last couple of meetings with you, what we have determined is that your company is dealing with serious issues related to high levels of absenteeism, high levels of turnover. There's a lot of internal conflict, and it's affecting your customers and it's affecting your sales. And so I've developed this presentation to give you some insight on what I believe is happening and then to provide you a solution that we think will be very effective in solving these issues. So first off, what we've determined is that your people are stressed out, they're overwhelmed, and they're sick, and they're not happy. And the interesting part is that it's not just your people, it's people all across North America. And it's because people are dealing with mental health. So employees across all organizations are starting to see some of the similar patterns. And it's a serious issue. And why should we care? Well, suicide has now become the second leading cause of death among young adults in North America. Suicide rates from 2018 to 2019 increased by 2.5%, and that was before COVID. After COVID, things have gotten much worse. Not only have suicide rates increased, but it's affecting people's relationships, it's affecting their jobs, and it's affecting people's businesses. Since COVID, attrition rates have increased dramatically. It went from 50% in 2019 for millennials to 68% and 75 to 81% for Gen Zers. And people are leaving their roles, they're quitting, mostly related to mental health reasons. So Harvard Business Review did a massive study on employees in regards to mental health. And what they determined is that 41% of workers are saying that stress is making them less productive. 33% said it's making them less engaged. And 91% of respondents say that feeling of overwhelm and stress negatively affects their quality of work. So mental health is a real issue and it's deteriorating your employees, and eventually it's going to deteriorate your business unless you do something about it. So I have this video here. It's 13 minutes long, so I'm just going to show you the first couple of minutes, but it's from Dr. Joe Dispenza, who is a doctor of medicine and science, and he talks a little bit about stress and why we should care.
It's a scientific fact that the hormones of stress downregulate genes and create disease, long-term effects. Human beings, because of the size of the neocortex, we can turn on the stress response just by thought alone. We can think about our problems and turn on those chemicals. That means then our thoughts could make us sick. So if it's possible that our thoughts could make us sick, is it possible that our thoughts could make us well? The answer is absolutely yes. All organisms in nature can tolerate short-term stress. You know, a deer gets chased by a pack of coyotes. When it outruns the coyotes, it goes back to grazing and the event is over. And the definition of stress is when your brain and body are knocked out of balance, out of homeostasis. The stress response is what the body innately does to return itself back to order. So you're driving down the road, someone cuts you off, you jam on the brakes, you give them the finger, and then you settle back down and the event is over and boom, now everything's back to normal. But what if it's your coworker sitting right next to you and all day long you're turning on those chemicals because they're pushing all your emotional buttons? When you turn on the stress response and you can't turn it off, now you're headed for disease because no organism in nature can live in emergency mode for that extended period of time.
So what Dr. Joe is referring to here is what the impact of this stress is having on people. And something needs to be done about it because many people are living in a constant state of stress. And that's why you've got high stress people and unhappy employees. And according to Harvard Business Review, this means that you'll have lower productivity and lower morale. And when people are sick, when they're mentally ill, when they're stressed out, like he said, they're living in a stress response mode all the time, and it begins to affect their physical health. And then you get people with physical health issues, which leads to increased absenteeism, which is what you're dealing with. And then when you've got people not showing up to work, well, now the people that are at work are dealing with more work, and this creates conflict and even more stress. And then you get people quitting, you get higher turnover. And then what happens is it affects your customers and it affects your growth. And so employers need to do something about this if they want to have a sustainable business. Now, the issue is that most employers or leaders, they just want sales. All they're focused on higher sales, higher sales. How am I going to get sales? Well, I need happy customers. I need customers coming back. So I need better work and I need to go find high performing employees. However, they have it backwards. If instead they focus on creating a culture of happy employees, then naturally they will perform better, they'll provide better work, and you will attract happy customers and higher sales. This is the right formula and way to do it. And so, what we're going to do if we come into your organization is we're going to teach your people how to be happy. We're going to teach them how to deal with stress because stress is inevitable. We're all going to deal with stress, but it's how you deal with it and so that you can deal with it in a sustainable way and it doesn't affect your happiness, your relationships, and your performance at work. So, how we're going to do this? We're going to roll out an 8-week program which is backed by teachings from Dr. Deepak Chopra. Who's Deepak Chopra? He is an author of 91 books, many related to mental health and physical health. Many of these are New York Times bestsellers. He's a doctor of medicine, and he's a leader and keynote speaker when it comes to meditation. And I spent a year studying mental health with him, and that's where we've developed this incredible program that uses mindful-based stress techniques to teach people how to deal with stress in the moment. So the first part of this is an education component because a lot of people are just walking around in autopilot. They don't even realize they're stressed out or unhappy and what the impact that it's having on their lives, their relationships, and their bodies. So we're going to educate. Then we're going to teach people meditation, not just meditation sitting at home, but meditation tricks and tools that they can use in the office, before work, after work, that is proven over the long term to have massive effects on people's lives and happiness. And finally, this 8-week program will consist of 16 yoga classes to get people into a physical state of relaxed and less anxiety. And these yoga classes will also teach people stretches and poses that they can do while in the office to release physical stress. And it will also focus on office ergonomics so that people have better posture, they look good, they feel good, they're healthier, because this is a holistic approach to being happier, longer living people that do better work. So if you take care of your employees and you invest in them, they will invest in your business too. A research study done by Deloitte based on 7 companies that invested in mental health programs over the course of 3 years saw a 62% ROI on their investment. Yes, of course, an ROI, return on their investment. And according to Harvard Business Review, companies that invest in mental health programs call it the happy dividend because studies show that when you do this, you'll have 31% more productivity, 33% higher sales, and your people will be 300% more creative. So don't just take it from me, take it from research that's been out there. The proven benefits of investing in mental programs like ours is that research study shows you'll have reduced stress and anxiety amongst your employees. Your employees will have a high level of emotional intelligence and awareness, which will make them more compassionate with each other, more understanding, and it will bring down the conflict within the organization. You'll have internally happier people, which leads to higher engagement, more motivation, more focus, higher creativity and productivity, and most importantly, you will see an increase in employee loyalty, a strong culture of happiness. We worked with 30 companies in the past using the same 8-week program, and the feedback from our customers and the benefits they received was an average of 35% increase in employee retention, 78% reduced absenteeism, 67% of employees continue their daily meditation practice, and 57% continue their yoga practice. And we saw an increase, these companies saw an increase in promotions and hires because now they were attracting more people. 8 of the 30 companies actually got voted one of the best companies to work for. And most importantly, all the companies saw an average of 2.4 increase in sales growth, because studies show that if you invest in your people and you invest in their mental health and their happiness, they will invest in your business, and it will support your longevity, your competitive growth, and your sustainable movement into the future. So that's our presentation. We love the opportunity to work with you, and thank you for this presentation. Thank you.